When looking at the price movement of a security, technical analysts tend to look for certain chart patterns over time. They believe that these chart patterns relate somewhat to common investor behavior and can show what might come in the future for that security. For example, one of the most common, well-known chart patterns is the head and shoulders pattern, obviously not to be confused with the shampoo. This chart pattern consists of three peaks, with the second being the tallest, or the head, and the side smaller peaks being the shoulders. Technical analysts have noted that this pattern has a tendency to portend a sharp drop in the stock price is coming. There are many other common patterns that I will leave you to research, but I want to touch on two concepts of technical analysis that I believe are particularly useful when investing in the stock market yourself. The first is the concept of support and resistance levels, and the second is a basket of markers called technical indicators. The first concept of technical analysis that I find most useful is that of support and resistance levels. These levels form when there is a high level of liquidity in a stock and the buyers and sellers of the market are warring with each other. As I mentioned earlier, it's an epic war. These levels show themselves in the form of a general line that buyers will keep buying the stock at and a general line that sellers will keep selling the stock at. Interestingly, these lines tend to be at round numbers, which really kind of makes sense when you stop to think about it. As humans, we're more likely to say that I'm going to sell that stock if it drops below $40, rather than I'm going to sell that stock if it drops below $40.89. These lines can show a good general range for the stock price over some period of time, assuming that there are no important fundamental changes. For example, the CEO forged SEC documents and the company is actually bankrupt. Or important sentiment changes. For example, the president of the country decides that your company is the root of all evil and swears to end it. But overall, support and resistance levels can show an investor the general extremes of the stock's movement and can enlighten the investor as to when one side breaks through the other's level. And that sounds like a battle win to me.